In March 2020, the U.S. Department of Agriculture spent $25 million on canned peaches. Not fresh, not frozen, canned. The same agency that publishes the dietary guidelines, that tells you to eat more fruit, that sets the nutritional benchmarks every food label in this country answers to, that agency went to the canned fruit aisle because commercially canned peaches retain vitamin C, vitamin E, antioxidants, and folate at levels comparable to fresh. The produce you bought Monday is dead by Thursday. The can you put in that pantry today will still be there in 3 years. Still safe, still nutritious, still ready. I read the taste tests, the FDA label records, the cooperative ownership filings, the co-packer supply chain disclosures. Here is what I found. You are not stockpiling for the apocalypse. You are stockpiling because fresh fruit has a 4-day window, and a canned fruit has a 4-year window. And the difference matters every time the grocery budget gets tight, every time the store is out of what you need, every time a kid wants peaches at 9 p.m. in January. This is not nostalgia. This is infrastructure. And if you build it right, it costs less, lasts longer, and feeds your family better than you probably expect. Start with the obvious one, but understand why it's obvious. Del Monte sliced peaches in 100% juice is the most validated product in this entire category. Canned peaches are the #1 segment in the global canned fruit market, a market worth $12.27 billion in 2024, according to Fortune Business Insights. That is not an accident. Multiple independent nutritional reviews, including a Science Direct analysis of canned stone fruit, confirm that peaches canned at peak ripeness retain vitamin E, vitamin C, folate, and antioxidant levels comparable to fresh. And Del Monte has publicly confirmed that 100% of its U.S. and Canadian branded cans now use non-BPA liners. The federal endorsement, the nutritional science, the packaging transparency, it's all there. One specific warning to embed in your memory right now: Del Monte Freestone Peaches in heavy syrup is a different product entirely. 52.5 grams of added sugar per can, with high fructose corn syrup listed as an ingredient. Same brand, opposite outcome. For your stockpile, look for 100% juice or water on the label. That distinction is the whole game. Idole pineapple slices in 100%. Swept Spork's comprehensive pineapple taste test across every format they evaluated. Slices, chunks, crushed, and came out on top across the board. Brightest and most vibrant was the verdict. No added sugar, firm enough to hold up on a ham, in a stir-fry, in an upside-down cake. Here's something most people don't know. Bromelain, the enzyme in fresh pineapple that makes your tongue tingle or burn if you're sensitive to it, is deactivated by the canning process. If raw pineapple has ever bothered you, the canned version is actually the better version. One shelf life note worth knowing: pineapple is a high-acid fruit, which means the acid will start working on the can lining after about 18 months. Not dangerous, just a quality consideration. Rotate your pineapple cans within that window. And don't pour the juice down the drain. Use it in a marinade. Sweeten oatmeal with it. Mix it into a drink. That liquid is genuinely good. Del Monte sliced Bartlett pears doesn't get the attention it deserves, and that's exactly why it belongs in your stockpile. Oregon, Washington, and California growers established the Pacific Coast Canned Pear Service in 1954, one of the oldest organized canning cooperatives in U.S. food history. That infrastructure exists because pears are one of the most shelf-stable, consistently available canned fruits in the category. Hypoallergenic, easy to digest, recommended for sensitive stomachs, young children, and elderly eaters. Tasting Table called them, alongside canned peaches, one of the most consistently available canned fruits in any grocery store in the country. The practical case is simple: keep both peaches and pears. If you run out of one mid-recipe, the other fills in. Same shelf position, different flavor profile, zero waste. Del Monte Fruit Cocktail in heavy syrup earned its place here the hard way, through testing, not sentiment. In Spork's side-by-side heavy syrup fruit cocktail ranking, it came out on top. The specific reason it won matters: large, identifiable peach chunks, distinguishable fruit flavors across peach, grape, cherry, and pear, and structural integrity that competing cans failed to match. Del Monte's 2022 food sales exceeded $4.4 billion according to Statista, and the fruit cocktail is the core mass market product that funds the quality control infrastructure behind all of it. One hard caveat to mention here: Del Monte Fruit Cocktail in heavy syrup uses red number, I-3 food coloring to make the cherries brighter. Red number 3 is banned from cosmetics by the FDA, but remains permitted in food. Consumer Reports has flagged it for potential cancer risk associations and behavior concerns in young children. If you have kids or prefer to avoid it, Del Monte's no sugar added version uses sucralose and acesulfame potassium, both FDA approved, both performing well in the no sugar taste tests. That caveat is not a reason to strike this pick. It is a reason to choose the right version deliberately. Now the stockpile gets more interesting. Del Monte Apricot Halves in extra light syrup was the top-rated product in Chowhound's full Del Monte canned fruit lineup review. The reviewer's words were, "My favorite, and if I had my druthers, they'd have taken home the gold." Most people walk past the apricots without thinking twice. That's a nutritional gap hiding in plain sight. Apricots deliver vitamin A and beta-carotene in meaningful quantities, a profile that the peaches and pears on this list simply don't match. The fresh season for apricots is 6 to 8 weeks. Outside that window, fresh apricots at most retailers are either expensive, underripe, or not there at all. One case of canned apricot halves in your stockpile fills a vitamin A gap that nothing else on this list covers. Del Monte No Sugar. Added mandarin oranges in water is the surprise winner in its category, and the proof is specific. Mashed ran an 11-brand mandarin comparison and ranked Del Monte No Sugar added at the top, most flavorful of the selection, segments holding their texture, on natural juice from the fruit infusing the water without any syrup masking the actual orange character. It costs under $3 a can. Mandarin oranges are the fastest growing segment in the entire global canned fruit market. 6.21% compound annual growth rate projected through 2031, according to Mordor Intelligence. There's a reason for that growth. They are the ideal snack fruit, no seeds, high vitamin C, and portion-sized by nature. But, and this is the label lesson this pick is built around, skip Dole mandarins in light syrup. Same category, same shopping trip, dramatically different result. In the same mash test, the syrup version ranked near the bottom. Fruit cocktail. You can't tell a peach from a grape from a chunk of pear. That is what syrup does to a mandarin. It doesn't preserve the flavor, it buries it. A Dole tropical fruit mix in light syrup and passion. Fruit juice is the pick that most stockpile lists completely miss, and it's the one that will save you from a specific problem no one talks about: food fatigue. When your pantry is full of peaches and pears and more peaches, week 3 gets psychologically hard. Prepper communities have documented this as a real phenomenon. Rotating flavor profiles in a long-term food supply is not optional, it's functional. The Dole Tropical Fruit Mix contains papaya and pineapple in actual passion fruit juice. No competitor's standard cocktail line contains papaya. Sporked called it the best fruit cocktail if you want something that more closely resembles fruit salad. No high fructose corn syrup, by one case specifically to break the routine. It earns its place by being different from everything else on the shelf. Ocean Spray, whole berry. Cranberry sauce closes out the first half of this list, and the reason it's here has nothing to do with Thanksgiving. Ocean Spray is a farmer-owned cooperative, more than 700 growers, which means the financial structure is different from every other brand discussed so far. There is no corporate incentive to quietly source cheaper fruit or dilute the blend to protect a margin. The growers are the shareholders. Wisconsin and Massachusetts produce the overwhelming majority of the U.S. cranberry supply, and Ocean Spray processes at peak harvest. The specific antioxidants preserved in cranberries, proanthocyanidins, are not present in any other fruit on this list. The whole berry version is preferable to jellied for texture and fiber. I use it as a condiment with proteins, stir it into oatmeal, add it to a grain bowl. 1 can a month is enough to earn everything that antioxidant profile offers. Libby's doesn't get shelf space at the front of the aisle. The packaging is modest, the brand doesn't advertise like Del Monte or Dole, and most shoppers walk past it without a second look. That's a mistake. Daily Meal called Libby's a heavy hitter in the canning world, a company with serious commercial canning infrastructure behind that understated label. Libby's fruit cocktail in pear juice concentrate is the pick for households that want lower glycemic load without artificial sweeteners. Pear juice concentrate instead of cane sugar syrup means you're getting natural fruit sugars, not a refined sugar dump. The standard version contains no sucralose, no acetylsulfame potassium, with no HFCS. For diabetic-friendly stockpiling specifically, Libby's also offers a Splenda version, the only major brand with a cocktail product explicitly designed for blood sugar management. Consistent quality, accessible price, and a structural reason to exist that neither Del Monte nor Dole has bothered to match. Sometimes the underdog wins because it fills a gap the market leaders ignored. Now the co-packer reveal, and this one changes how you think about every store brand label in the canned fruit aisle. Burnett Foods was founded in 1935 in Central Lake, Michigan. They started with a cherry orchard and built out into a nationally recognized co-packer of shelf-stable fruits and vegetables: applesauce, apple cider, canned apples, fruit fillings, fruit cups, Michigan-sourced apples, sustainability practices that include water and energy reduction, packaging recycling, and upcycling fruit pits into secondary products, and Burnett Foods co-packs for Walmart's Great Value label, among others. That means Great Value unsweetened applesauce sitting on the bottom shelf at Walmart for significantly less than the branded options is frequently the same product or a product made to the same standard from the same supply chain as what a premium label would charge you more for. The label is not always the manufacturer. Sometimes the store brand is the better buy, not because it cut corners, but because a quality regional producer is running the line and the retailer simply isn't paying for branding overhead. When a store brand canned fruit lists a specific fruit origin on the label, that is a signal. It means someone in that supply chain is accountable to a place, not just a price point. Mott's unsweetened applesauce deserves its own entry because it is not just a fruit. It is a pantry tool. A quarter cup of unsweetened applesauce replaces 1 egg in most baking recipes. It replaces oil or butter in muffins and quick breads. The soft texture makes it appropriate for infants, elderly eaters, and anyone recovering from surgery or illness. USDA confirms. Commercially canned applesauce is safe indefinitely with an intact seal. The commercial sterilization process eliminates the spoilage risk that home canned goods carry. If your stockpile has room for 2 applesauce picks, take both. Great value for volume and budget. Mott's for a trusted brand with long-standing quality consistency. If you can only take one, a Mott's unsweetened in the large can is the more versatile call. Don't stockpile the sweetened or flavored versions. Added sugar makes it less useful as a cooking substitute and cuts into the clean nutritional profile that earns applesauce its place on this list. Here is where the label reading discipline pays off most directly. Dole Mandarin. Oranges exists in two fundamentally different products depending on which version you pick up. Dole in light syrup ranked near the bottom of Mashed's 11-brand Mandarin comparison. The verdict was that the syrup collapsed the individual orange flavor into something generic, indistinguishable from fruit cocktail. Dole in 100% juice is a different product. The juice version retains the bright, tangy, individual orange character that makes mandarins worth eating. Same logo on the front. A completely different result inside. This is the format matters principle in its clearest form. The brand is not the decision. The packing liquid is the decision. That principle applies across every single pick on this list. Del Monte peaches in heavy syrup versus Del Monte peaches in juice. Dole pineapple in syrup versus Dole pineapple in juice. Dole mandarins in syrup versus Dole mandarins in juice. The logo is not a quality guarantee. The liquid in the can is the quality signal. Flip every can before you put it in the cart. Read past the brand. This habit will save you from bad purchases more reliably than any brand loyalty you currently have. Simple Truth Organic. No sugar added canned peaches is Kroger's owned label, and the organic certification here is doing real work. USDA certified organic is not a marketing phrase. It is a third-party verified standard requiring no synthetic pesticides, no GMOs, and documented sourcing audits. Natural on a food label means nothing. It is unregulated, unaudited, and legally meaningless. USDA organic means something specific happened at the farm level that someone with credentials verified. Kroger controls the Simple Truth Organic brand directly, which means the accountability structure is retailer level. If the standard slips, Kroger owns the liability. For households managing blood sugar, avoiding pesticide residue, or simply wanting a second peach option with a cleaner label, this is the pick. The flavor is described as slightly tart and tangy compared to conventional canned peaches, which, if you're pairing with oatmeal or yogurt rather than eating plain, is actually the more useful profile. Target's Good and Gather fruit cocktail in peach and pear juice completes the Smart Buyer cluster. 0 added sugars. Packed in fruit juice, not syrup. Priced below Del Monte and Dole. Target Corp confirmed FDA compliance on all owned brand canned goods. In direct taste comparisons, Daily Meal noted it as proof that quality juice-packed cocktail doesn't require a national brand price. For a 90-day household stockpile, replacing 3 of your standard fruit cocktail purchases with Good and Gather saves roughly $12 to $15 per case with no measurable quality loss. When you are building 18 different canned fruit varieties across a full pantry rotation, the per-unit cost adds up fast. A strategic store brand substitutions at the right points in the list are how you build a comprehensive stockpile without doubling your grocery bill. The final 4 picks are about scale, format, sourcing, and one closing argument about what this whole category is actually about. Goya Fruit Cocktail in heavy syrup is the large format pick. Goya Foods is the largest Hispanic-owned food company in the United States, with a direct import chain for tropical fruit varieties that do not appear in the standard Del Monte or Dole domestic lineup. The large format cans are optimized for multi-person households, communal eating, and situations where per-serving volume matters more than per-can price. A Daily Meal praised the heavy syrup version specifically for how it highlights each fruit's individual taste. The sweetness works as an amplifier when paired with something neutral, like plain yogurt, frozen yogurt, or a light cream. Buy 1 case for the communal use scenario. The per-serving cost is among the lowest in the category, and the tropical fruit variety is genuine differentiation from anything sourced domestically. Members Mark Mandarin Oranges from Sam's Club is packed in pear juice, not orange juice, not syrup, And in Masht's 11-brand Mandarin comparison, it's still ranked as a top-tier product. The pear juice packing reduces sugar load while preserving the light sweetness that makes mandarins appealing. But the real reason this pick is here is unit economics. Sam's Club case pricing reduces the per-can cost by 30 to 45% compared to standard grocery retail. A 90-day canned fruit supply built through Club Channel case buys versus one can at a time grocery purchases is not the same budget. If you are serious about stockpiling 18 varieties, the high-volume picks, mandarins, applesauce, pineapple, fruit cocktail, should be sourced at club store scale. Members Mark Mandarins is the proof of concept for that approach, a top-tier product at a fraction of the retail price, available in case quantities that make a real stockpile actually achievable. Del Monte Pineapple Chunks in 100% pineapple juice was the top-ranked product in Chowhound's full Del Monte lineup test. The reviewers' words were that it gets the job done in a way that no other product in the range matched. It appears here at Pick 17 because this is where the can liner conversation closes. Del Monte has made a public company statement confirming that 100% of its U.S. and Canadian branded fruit and vegetable cans use non-BPA liners. That matters specifically for high-acid fruits like pineapple, because acid accelerates any leaching from can linings. The fact that Del Monte has documented and confirmed its transition, publicly, verifiably, is the standard other brands should be held to. If you see a BPA-free claim on a can, but no information about what replaced the BPA, the Center for Environmental Health recommends writing directly to that company and asking. Most won't answer clearly. Del Monte already has. Muirhead Canning Company in the Dalles, Oregon, has been running the same family-owned, single-facility operation since 1946. They can local Pacific Northwest cherries, apricots, pears, plums, and peaches. Filled to a ripeness standard that requires individual fruit evaluation, not a conveyor belt grading system optimized for throughput. Keychain.com described the product as filled to the brim with ripe, tender, sweet local fruit. The apricot halves are specifically nearly impossible to find at mass retail outside of Muirhead, and apricots, as established earlier on this list, fill a vitamin A and beta-carotene gap that nothing from Del Monte or Dole's standard lineup addresses. This pick requires a deliberate choice. You will not stumble across Muirhead at a big box store on autopilot. You have to go looking. That is the point. The same forces that compress quality in fresh produce, consolidation, scale, speed, efficiency, your margin pressure, work on canned fruit too. They just work slower. The can buys you time, but it does not buy you immunity. The brands that have maintained standards did it through structure, cooperative ownership at Ocean Spray, family accountability at Muirhead, retailer-level control at Simple Truth, public commitment at Del Monte. The brands that slipped did it quietly, through the packing liquid, through the coloring agent, through the private label shuffle, through the format you grabbed without reading. 4 questions before any canned fruit purchase. What is the packing liquid? Is the liner BPA-free or documented non-BPA? Is the fruit variety specific or generic? Is this a brand with traceable sourcing or a white label with no origin? Yes, run those 4 questions against every can you pick up, and your stockpile will be built from real value, not from packaging that outlived the standards behind it. The can never lied about what it was. We just stopped reading.